This is it. After 7 months of racing, many long nights in the garage, and a year of intense, single-minded focus on winning, we've arrived at Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca outside of Monterey, California for the championship round of the Mazda Road to Indy season. For those on the cusp of their first breakthrough, it's one last chance to win that elusive first race. For the consistent winners, it's all about clinching the title and earning a place on the next run of the Road to Indy ladder. The 11-turn, 2.2-mile Mazda Raceway is home to some of open-wheel racing's legendary moments. For the stars of tomorrow, it's the next stop on a journey they'll never forget. The Mazda Road to Indy season concludes. Championships are won and lost now. Winning a championship is every driver's goal during the season. For the drivers in USF 2000, Pro Mazda, and Indy Lights, it means more than just another accolade on their resume, though. Through the help of Mazda and Cooper tires, over $2.3 million in prizes are awarded at season's end. Each champion earns the coveted Mazda scholarship, funding a ride into the next series up on the road to Indy. For the Indy Lights victor, that includes an opportunity to qualify for the 100th running of the Indianapolis 500 next May. The Road to Indy development program is unparalleled in the racing world, and it makes every race that much more important. We're here in the Team Pelfrey paddock with Pelfrey team principal Nigel Tuckey. Now, if you recognize the name Pelfrey, if you've been around racing for a while, you may recognize the owner Dale Pelfrey. The team goes all the way back towards the late 90s with the IRL. But Nigel, you guys relaunched in 2011 with a totally different focus.
Yeah, absolutely. Team goes way back, and the goals were, Dale had his own IndyCar team back in the late 90s. One of his favourite things in the world seems to be the Indy 500, and he's always wanted to compete there. But yeah, it went away for a while, and he got built a business, did very well, and then the focus back in 2011 was to try and give something back to the sport. He wanted to provide opportunities for young potential race car drivers that maybe wouldn't have the means to do this themselves to get involved, and he put together a team in Pro Mazda initially, and within a couple of years won a championship with Jack Hawksworth, who's now in IndyCar, and still continues to put money into the sport to support young drivers. And some recent expansions have seen us start in some other series, and now we have quite the sort of ladder within the Mazda Road to Indy ladder, so to speak, as far as driver development.
But looking forward 1 year, 2 years from now, with the way this team continues to build, what's in the future for Team Pelfrey?
Good question, and we think about that all the time. I think, there's naturally we've got some interests, and we've cast more than an occasional eye on Indy Lights. That's, I think, a direction that would make sense for us to continue the development, but we're very conscious of realising where we come from and what we do, and not wanting to detract from that as well. So we're thinking that process all through very carefully.
There's so much work involved with racing behind the scenes that a lot of fans don't see. How do you guys manage to stay loose in such a stressful environment?
By playing pranks on one another, basically. No, we try, it's very important. We spend a lot of time together. We try to be very professional about what we do, but we also try to have fun doing it as well. And that's important, I think, in the culture of the team. We like to have fun and try and do things a little bit differently, and show that at the end of the day, there are some human beings in this paddock rather than robots,
So more familiar with Pro Mazda, that's how you guys relaunched in 2011, but USF 2000, first season for that this year, so what sort of challenges does that present to the team?
It was a big challenge, and probably a larger challenge than we all realised, in that we decided to do it quite modestly, first of all with 1 or 2 cars, and then ended up with 4. So we didn't go into it making our lives particularly easy, and also with 4 rookies, which has its own challenges, and that they all bring similar qualities and benefits to the program. But it's been good. I mean, we've been developing the team. We decided to do it this way so that we could grow and our drivers could grow together. So we've had a podium, 4th, 5th, we're knocking on the door, and so it's good so far, but everything's still to go for.
Well, Nigel, the Pelfrey name has been around in racing for a while, but it's a fresh start for you guys. Very exciting start, so great to get to know Team Pelfrey, great to get to know you a little bit better. You can look for Team Pelfrey on the track. That yellow, pretty tough to miss.
It's been an amazing year of racing for the Mazda Road to Indy at a lot of different street circuits, road courses, super speedways and short ovals, but here we are, the season finale at the Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca. 11-turn circuit, super quick, super tricky, and here we are across the start finish line. Slight kink there as we go through turn 1 and now diving down that hill towards turn 2. A massive brake zone as we work our way through this double apex corner. Now back on power, gotta use all that curbing on the exit here, and then gradually work our way back to the left-hand side here to turn it into that right-hand corner that is turn 3. Turn 3, very important to use all the curbing, apex and exit. Turn 4, a very, very quick corner, almost flat out for all Mazda Road to Indy categories here. And now onto the backstretch, which is another good chance to make it pass. Turn 5, super tough corner. Steep uphill as you work your way into that corner. Tough on the brakes here, into that curve. Take advantage of the uphill to slow the car down. And now heading towards turn 6, one of the trickiest corners on the track there, with a big drop off, then a big compression, followed by a massive uphill run towards that corkscrew. As we get into the brake zone for the corkscrew, we're going to get really light as we come over a little bit of a crest here and have a massive 95-foot drop. Easy to lose the rear end of the car. Turn 9, a super quick left-hander, and flick the car right back to the left-hand side to get it set up for turn 10 with yet another compression. And now for the final corner, massive brake zone. You almost feel like you have to come to a complete stop here at the apex of the corner. Back on power, use all that room on exit, and aim for another lap around Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca.
All right, we're here at Tarpe's Roadhouse, right down the road from Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca, with a pair of Pro Mazda drivers, Will Owen with Yuncos Racing and Dalton Kellett from Andretti Autosport. Now guys, one of the things that I love about racing is it's ordinary guys doing extraordinary things, and it's definitely true for you two. You know, just like everyone else our age, you're going to school, but how in the world, Will, do you manage to balance your racing career and your academic career?
Well, it's hard, man, that's for sure. I mean, it was a challenge. Living 2 lives, basically, having to be on the road every other weekend, or and during the week as well. Missing class was really tough. But honestly, it taught me a lot of lessons. It taught me how to deal with the professors and deal with how to travel and deal with switching back and forth between lives.
And you got off to a pretty good start in Road to Indy too. A victory last season at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. How important was that for you?
Having that taste of victory, having that taste of what it's going to be like one day, winning at Indy, just being up on that podium is one of the greatest feelings in the world. So that's what I've been chasing ever since that moment. That's what keeps me coming back to the track.
And Dalton, for you, your major actually has some overlap with racing too, doesn't it?
Yeah, so I went through the engineering physics program at Queen's University in Kingston, Ontario. Within that program, there's 4 options: mechanical, materials, electrical, and computing. And basically you design and build and race and compete with a small open wheel style formula race car against other schools internationally. So a lot of Canadian teams, many American schools, most big American schools have a team. Teams from South America, Asia, Europe, everywhere. And it was a very good program.
No sleep, constant travel for the 3 of us with racing. So what do you do to take some of the stress off and just relax every once in a while?
Honestly, for me, when I'm in Colorado, I just go outside and go to the mountains, hang out, honestly. I've gotten used to being just so busy that being just a little busy gets kind of boring. So I've always got stuff going on. I'm always trying new things. I got my pilot's license this summer, so that was kind of a whole new endeavor, a whole new thing that I tried out. Honestly, just passing the time with friends and just being a normal kid for a while. That's how I relax.
So on the off chance that you don't have anything to do, Dalton, every once in a blue moon, what do you do to pass the time and keep yourself relaxed?
Well, I wish I could say that I was a pilot and I could go flying, but sadly that's not the case. I moved to Indianapolis in May because I wanted to be close to the team. I train with PitFit, but when I'm not doing anything related to racing, I play guitar, meeting people in Indy, getting to know a new city, living somewhere that's outside of my native country, Canada. That's a fun, exciting experience, and just kind of enjoying that.
Oh, well, Dalton, Will, it's been awesome getting to know you guys, talking to you, and knowing who you are, not just inside the race car like we've known all year, but outside of the race car. You guys have a race to get to, the finale at Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca, so why don't you get in the car, and I gotta go eat. The 2015 USF 2000 season has been dominated by Cape Motorsports with Wayne Taylor Racing. Drivers Nico Jamin and Aaron Telitz locked out the front row, but the championship was essentially down to a two-way battle between Jamin and Pabst Racing's Jake Edson. Jamin sails away to win the race and the USF 2000 championship.
It's absolutely awesome, I can thank all the Mazda Road to Indy, Anderson Promotion, Cooper Tire, Mazda, they're doing an incredible job for the young drivers like me. I'm very excited to move up in the Road to Indy next year. It's a huge opportunity for me and I'm very happy to keep racing in the USA next year.
Race 2 was the Cape Show once again. By over 8.5 seconds, Jamin caps off the year with his 11th victory, followed by teammate Aaron Telitz in second and Jake Edson third. 2015 is Cape Motorsports with Wayne Taylor Racing's 5th consecutive USF 2000 championship. In Pro Mazda, Team Pelfrey's Santiago Urrutia led Cape's Neil Alberico in points entering the weekend. Urrutia started the first race P2 with Alberico right behind in P4. When the green flag unfurled, the yellow quickly followed and had some drivers seeing red, and chain reaction carnage ensues behind. But with just over 1 lap to go, Alberico spins out of third place in front of a passionate throng of fans from his native Uruguay. Santiago Urrutia was crowned king of Pro Mazda.
Uruguayan people is crazy, They come so far away to support me this race, to win the championship. Today we win the championship, so I'm so happy. I can't tell you how happy I am today. And I have to say thanks to everyone who helped me, my sponsor, Team Pepper for the hard work, every people who helped me. I have to say thanks. So thank you for this year and the year before too. We win the championship and I hope to race in Indy Lights next year.
With the championship check signed, sealed, and delivered to Urrutia and Team Pelfrey, the pressure was off in race 2. Instead of finishing the year on a high, Raul Owens finished upside down. He was uninjured. Juncos Racing's Garrett Grist kept his cool all weekend with hot lap after hot lap. He completes the sweep in race 2 to bring his season total to 3 victories, followed by Urrutia on the second step of the podium and Alberico in third.
To get my first ever sweep this weekend feels great, especially at a track like Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca. It's one of my favorite tracks. It's beautiful. It's so fun to drive. So, yeah, thanks to everyone at Juncos Racing and everyone from the series for a great year.
4 competitors had a crack at the championship in Indy Lights. The lawn-standing, qualifying, and race track records were broken, but Harvey's title hopes took a huge hit. He struggled to find speed all weekend. Max Chilton started first for Carlin, but a botched entry into the famed corkscrew corner bumped him outside of the top 10. Spencer Pigot assumed the race lead, and with his Juncos Racing teammate Kyle Kaiser as a buffer in P2, he stole the race win and the points lead with just 1 race to play. All eyes were on Pigot and Harvey in the season finale. Pigot was last year's Pro Mazda champion. The series veteran Harvey missed out on the Indy Lights championship by a tiebreaker 1 season ago. Pigot started second, Harvey fourth. 3 wide as we go green, the American springs to the lead in turn 2. Harvey held his ground, but on the race's first restart, Harvey's hopes came crashing down. Harvey was deemed to have jumped the start by race control. He was sent to the back of the field and never recovered. Pigot held off Sean Rahal and Max Chilton to take the checkered flag, bringing his sole red Mazda into victory lane to complete a perfect weekend for Juncos Racing and securing the 2015 Indy Lights title.
The results we've had the past few years with this Juncos Racing team has been amazing, and can't thank them enough for all their hard work. And coming in this year as rookie team, rookie drivers, to take it to these guys that have accomplished so much in global motorsport, to not just be able to compete with them, but to be able to beat them is just huge for us, huge for the confidence of the team and me going forward. It means that we're going to be at least in a few IndyCar races, so that's the dream right there, and do whatever we can this offseason, put a full program together.
We leave this weekend disappointed, not necessarily bitter. I don't think bitter is the right word at all. Jealous that they won the championship, we didn't. Just genuinely disappointed. The team feel the same as I do. It's just I feel like I drove the best I've ever driven this year. We'll just push for the future and hope I progress into the Verizon IndyCar Series.
The Mazda Road to Indy season has come to an end, but for many rising stars, their career road is just beginning. Congratulations to our champions, Spencer Pigot, Santiago Urrutia, and Nico Jamin, and thank you for coming along for the ride on Road to Indy TV.